What is up, guys? James here from the Light of Raiga YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing a deck review of Tarot of a Moon Garden. This is a very unique, very whimsical type deck, and I wanted to share it with you guys today because I've had some enjoyment from it, and I wanted to bring that enjoyment to you guys in case you don't have the deck and are thinking about getting it, if you're on the fence, or even if you've never heard about it. Today we're going to dive deep into the Tarot of a Moon Garden. First thing you'll notice is the box it comes in, pretty standard. It's about the same size as the cards, and it's nothing special, nothing to store your deck in or anything like that, but it is something you can put on your bookshelf, and maybe if you wanted to store your deck in it, you definitely could, but maybe not long term. Look at this. Follow the moonlit path to an enchanted garden where myth and magic illuminate the mysteries of tarot. Let the lunar energy of the moon garden inspire you as you explore the places your imagination will lead you. I think that's a pretty fitting description of this deck. It's very whimsical, a lot of unicorns and dolphins and dragonflies and butterflies, and we'll get into it. This is the cover card that it comes with, Tarot of a Moon Garden. Let's look at the backs first of all. And the backs are kind of busy. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the back. It doesn't exactly fit the theme of this deck exactly, but it is. I don't know what's going on here, to be honest with you. If I'm being honest, I don't know what's going on in this on this cover, but it's okay. That's that. Paintings are by Karen Marie Sweelhart. I'm sorry, I don't know. That's her name. You can read it. That's right there. So let's go through the deck one by one and take a look at all the cards. I put them in order so that you guys could really get a sense of it. And we're going to start off with the Major Arcana and the Fool here. And my favorite part about this deck is the Major Arcana. The Major Arcana are very colorful, they're very vibrant, and they tell a story very well. Like, we've got a magician here for the magician, of course, and it looks like a Merlin a little bit, and we've got a high priestess with some dolphins going on here. Pretty cool. My deck did feel like it was a little washed out as color-wise. I'm not sure if that was because of the printing or because that's how they come. This is the only Tarot of a Moon Garden I've come across, so I'm not really 100% sure. So the blacks look kind of faded on my deck. I'm not really sure about that. But there are a lot of black backgrounds because this is Tarot of a Moon Garden. So a lot of the depictions are at nighttime. Look at the Hierophant. I love that Hierophant with a huge moon in the background. That's really cool. We have the Lovers here. This deck is very busy. A lot of flora and fauna going on in the background. And a lot for your intuition to go off of on the majors. The majors have a lot of things happening on them. We got the Chariot led by unicorns. Very whimsical, very fairy-like, very childlike, I guess. It's got a childlike innocence to it. And as a result, the readings kind of feel kind of childlike and whimsical too. If you're looking for that sort of thing. I love the Hermit there. A lot of people say that this is a great deck for kids, and I would say yes, maybe if you're reading for kids, but for a person that's new to tarot, I would not recommend this deck simply because the minors are kind of like a pip deck, at least some of the cards, and if you don't know the meanings of the cards, it's very hard for you to use your intuition to draw anything. Oh, look at the Hangman, I like that. To draw stuff from the pips, and we'll get to that as we go. But there's nothing scary. Like, death here is the most scary image on the thing. So I think that's why people say that this deck is for kids. But yeah, so I wouldn't recommend this. Maybe if your kid's advanced and knows like the meaning of the Four of Wands, then yeah, sure. But if you're learning tarot, I would not recommend this deck. I think this is for a more intermediate user who knows what all the cards mean already and wants to have a fun, lighthearted tarot reading experience. I read for myself with this deck. I read for others, and I find that it's really great when doing spirit work, like talking to your spirit guides directly. I found that it's been very communicative in that type of reading. So yes, like career hasn't been like the best, but look at the Sun. Oh, I love that card. That's my favorite. I love this Sun. You guys know I love the Sun cards. I really not resonates. What's the word I'm looking for? I really, okay, we'll say resonate. I resonate with the Sun card energy. I really like that. I'm a Sun person. My most optimum temperature is like 92 degrees. That's when I'm happy. Is when it's 92 degrees out there. The world is like a little dragonfly lady. Then we got the staffs, and the staffs in this deck are trees. And they're just tree trunks, and so for some of them, they're going to have, like for two of staffs, it's more of the traditional depiction with the guy holding the globe looking off into the horizon. In this case, it's the moon rather than the sun. But we have some like these, like the Three of Staffs. You wouldn't really know what to make of this. I guess, the dragon sailing away in the background is good. The Four of Staffs, of course, you got the homey feel with the castle in the background. So some of them are pippish, but others are not. Five of Staffs, this was borderline. You can sort of tell that the trunks are kind of battling each other a little bit in the way that they're growing. So that's how you get the Five of Staff energy there. The Six of Staffs, yeah, it's okay. I guess you could make some sense of that. This is the card I really struggle with in this deck. The Seven of Staffs is not your traditional. It's just 7 trees growing. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to glean from that, but I'm sure some people can. But I do stumble on that card. We got the Eight of Staffs showing movement, very nice. Nine of Staffs, I'm not really seeing any fortifications or any injuries or anything like that. And then the Ten of Staffs is just a big thick forest. So yeah, you're gonna have to know what these cards mean a little bit in order to read for them. But look at that, look at the mushrooms, oh I love it, and the butterflies. Look at the knights riding into battle on a very colorful horse. That is a unicorn. There you go, that's a unicorn. Queen of Staffs, very traditional with the cat and the sunflower, cool. And then the King of Staffs with his lizard. So yeah, some of the cards are traditional, some not so much. We're getting into the cups now. We got a lot of doves. We got some butterflies going on. And the cards are actually, the card stock is actually very good. I like this Three of Cups. The card stock is like, it's not flimsy, but it's not too stiff. It's perfect. One of my favorite card stocks. It's also not very glossy. It's not glossy at all, so they don't slide around. They slide around a little bit, as you can see there. But I hate when the cards slide around too much, but I don't like when they don't slide around enough. So this is the perfect medium. When you shuffle it, I'll shuffle it at the end of this episode. When you shuffle it, it's very satisfying. The cards snap into place. After many uses, they're still as straight as the day they came. So I really like the card stock. I can't say enough about the card stock that this deck comes with. My only complaint about the print is the printing I got was, I don't know if it comes through in video or not, but it's kind of washed out. And I mean, this is an old deck. I believe it was first published in '92, I want to say. Don't quote me on that, but it's an older deck, so it is a little bit harder to find this deck because I'm not even sure if it's still being printed. I think you may have to find old decks. I'm not 100% sure. Again, use the internet and they will tell you. They will tell you. I think I got this off of Amazon, so I mean, they're not incredibly hard to find, but they're not, at your local bookstore either. So you really gotta want to find this one in order to get your hands on it, which is great. If you're, this is not for casual enthusiasts. I don't think I wouldn't give this deck to a casual enthusiast. I mean, you gotta want it, okay? You gotta be ready for some unicorns and butterflies and things of that nature. So. I mean, this isn't a deck that you would use every day for your everyday readings. I think this is more of a deck... Oh, we get into the swords now. I think this is more of a deck where you pull it out every once in a while to, work with children or work with young people or work with your guides, as I said earlier. It really helps... I don't know. For some reason, my guides are able to speak to me clearly through this deck, and in my experience, which is really cool. I like that the dragonflies are swords, or the swords are dragonflies, whichever way you want to look at it. I think that's a very unique way to do it, and I love it. I really like the swords. But again, you're going to run into some pips, basically, and you're not going to have too much to go off of. Like, here, the dragon's sort of moving, so he's sort of like the boats, I guess. Seven of Swords, I mean, this doesn't really look like deception of any kind. So, again, not for a beginner, not for a child. I don't think a child's going to be able to learn on this deck very easily. Because the little white booklet, which I haven't shown you, I'll show you at the end, is just your standard little white booklet. And it really doesn't say much. It says a few keywords and a little bit about the reversal. And then that's about it. So it's your standard white book. Here, I'll show it to you real quickly. Here it is. There's the white booklet. Alright, your standard sort of thing here. And I think it had a Celtic cross in the back. And that's about it. Your standard booklet. And so yes, it's not a great deck to learn on, I wouldn't say that, but it's a great deck once you're an intermediate reader. I don't know if you can even, what does that even mean? I don't know. Once you've learned the base meanings of the cards and you've learned to unlock your intuition a little bit and kind of just see the card and kind of get an impression of the meaning without having to go too much off the image. Once you get to that point, then I think you can read with this deck. The Pentacles are like, I guess they're bubbles. I don't really know what they are. They're globes. Orbs. They're orbs. We'll call them orbs. Five of Pentacles is the one card that really stands out from the rest. It's like icy. I don't know. There's no darkness in this card. It's kind of weird. We're back to the Moon Garden. So, yes, again, Seven of Pentacles. Look at that. I mean, does that look like a harvest? I'm not really sure. Eight of Pentacles here. Pippish, very pippish. But some of them do have great images, like the Ten of Pentacles. He looks happy. He looks like he's satisfied. So, some of them are pippish, some not so much. You're just gonna have to learn the card meanings, but that's nothing you can't do. So, I do recommend this deck to anyone who's a child at heart, who has children, who wants to get in touch with their inner child, who wants to have a more play-like feel when they're doing tarot. Here, we'll do some shuffling. Oh, listen to that shuffle. Oh, it's so nice. Let me do that on camera. Oh, I love the way it shuffles. And it just snaps right back into place. This is one of the most fun decks to shuffle, I must say. It just shuffles so smoothly. Alright, so I don't think I have anything else to say about the Tarot of the Moon Garden. I think I said it all. In summation, this is a great deck for intermediates. It's a great deck for anyone who's a child at heart. This is a great deck to pull out once in a while and just have some fun with some tarot. It doesn't have to be all serious. It doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. It can be unicorns and dragonflies as well as towers and skeletons. You know what I mean? So I do recommend this deck to anyone who has an inner child, basically. And you're going to love this deck just like I love it. So that is Tarot of a Moon Garden. I hope you guys enjoy that. And stay tuned for more video reviews of different decks. I love to do these reviews. And I want to thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. Happy taroting. Peace.